Well, I thank you, Gabe, for your time. I don't think I've ever had a chance to interview you one-on-one. So this is I'm looking forward to this very, very much.
Thank you.
To start off, before we start talking about the fight against Munguia, I watch a lot of interviews with you, and you are very frank with your opinions. You articulate your points really, really well, like a commentator in a sense. From that perspective, what's something that journalists ask you, especially during a fight week, that you wish they didn't? What are you tired of being asked before we talk about anything else?
Probably the number one would be, are you ready? Sometimes I want to be sarcastic and be like, you know what, I'm not ready. I feel like shit. Like, yeah, it's like, what do you think, But it's just funny, that's pretty much the question that, you get asked, where it's like leading up to a fight, someone says, are you ready?
Have you ever felt that, like at the early stages of your career? Was there ever a time where you questioned, like, ooh, am I really ready for this? We know it's not recent, but maybe in the early years?
You know, I think when I go into my fights, I kind of just mentally lock in, so it's see, one thing about boxing is you're always gonna, not always, but a lot of the times, fighters are not going to always be 100% going into fights. It's a very um, it's a taxing sport on your body, right? So you might be dealing with a hand injury, or you might be dealing with a rib injury, or there's something. It's something you have to battle through. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I've gone into fights. I'll give you an example. When I fought Willie Monroe, I had a tore calf muscle 3 weeks going into the fight. It just happened. You know what I mean? And I literally fought with a leg injury. But that happens a lot, right? Shane Mosley, he fought with a leg injury. I think it was against Pacquiao, whatever. So these little things happen, That's dramatic. That's a really dramatic injury. But, there's little things that happen that you kind of just have to like lock in. And when you go into the fight, that adrenaline, once it kicks in, it's like it's not there. You know what I mean? You don't think about it.
Right.
But it's something it can play out in like the locker room or something like that. But once you're in the fight and the adrenaline kicks in, it's like it's whatever.
Mhm. Well, again, congratulations on this fight. I watched your last fight, and I really was rooting for you because I've watched a number of your fights over the years, and crappy decisions, where we can't even say you came up short, just terrible judging, terrible decisions. And now we have a fight that you really wanted, that you started calling for before this actually got made. Did you think it was ever going to get to this point that you were finally going to land here and be on the right side of the judging decision?
With Bekdemir, with my
Yes. Well, that fight was obvious. You knocked him out. That was
yeah,
a clean victory. But some of the other closer fights that you've had in your career where you just weren't on the right side of the decision, not by fault of your own, just it was terrible, terrible cards, terrible judging, terrible decisions. How
yeah.
did you pick yourself up, and did you think we were going to get to this point? Because this is a big opportunity for you.
No, yeah, for sure. I think it's like, it sucks because it's happened a lot, with these terrible decisions. I think the last one, being the Jacobs fight, right? But going into the fight with Bekdemir, it was a fight where we worked on the knockout. We knew he was aggressive. We know we could use his aggression against him. Him coming in and me just timing him perfectly. It was a shot that we worked on in camp, and that was the game plan. With Munguia, that's pretty much the same game plan as well. As he's gonna come aggressive. He'll probably try to box maybe sometimes, but is having an answer for whatever he does. And really, really making a statement. I don't want the fight to go to the scorecards, not because I'm scared of it won't go my way. It's just I want to win in that kind of fashion. I want to keep that momentum going where, I can impose my will, my strength, my size on him. I think it'd be the first time that he's facing someone that's bigger than him. So I definitely want to impose that on him, and work on getting the stoppage.
Mhm. This fight has a totally different tone than a lot of your past outings, in that Munguia honestly has respect for you.
Yeah.
He's spoken respectfully for you. When you've had so many like contentious back and forth things with opponents over years? Is it unnerving to have an opponent who is legitimately like, I respect this man, he is a warrior? How does that shift your mental approach to it, that you don't have to fight this outside of the ring battle war of
Yeah.
words with?
Yeah. No, but it's like I think with Munguia is a understanding of we both know what we bring to the table. And I'm from North Philly and he's from TJ. We come from backgrounds where you don't gotta talk, to be heard. Like, it's like that saying, road recognized road, right? I know he's what he's bringing to the table, and so does he. So the respect is mutual, and I think that's the kind of fight where we're gonna bring it to the fans. It's not. Um, I think a lot of the times when guys go through that back and forth, is a lot of the times those fights are a dud, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the fights where guys are just serious and are locked in. That those are the great fights, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen with me and Munguia. Um, so like I said, the respect is mutual. There's no need to talk. We both know what we bring to the table. I know he's a warrior. He knows I'm a warrior, and that's it.
Mhm. One thing I've always appreciated about your career, well, many things, but in particular, is your resume. A lot of people talk about resume. He hasn't, not you, but oh, the ex-fighter hasn't fought anybody, so I don't want to fight him.
Yeah,
But they can't say that about your resume, and yet still it becomes difficult to make fights with you because they're like, oh no, I can't. I'll find a new reason for not accepting a call out from Gabe Rosado. Why do people, do you think, get absent-minded on the whole resume discussion when it comes to you? Because your resume
yeah,
is packed. It's
yeah.
packed.
No, it's crazy. If you look at, I think, if you really put things in perspective, it's like for me to still be here and be fighting on this level, you know, it says a lot because I fought champion after champion after champion. I fought all the top guys at their best. And then if you really go down the list, like a lot of those guys ain't even here no more. A lot of those guys are they're done. They're not the same fighters anymore. And I'm just getting better as I go on. I'm just improving, you know. So I just think it just shows just my my willingness to work hard to get better, and it's crazy, man. It's definitely a blessing to just still be here standing and be fighting on this high level.
Mhm. Well, your approach to the sport is different in that you work hard and you're able to manage things for yourself outside of the ring. You're a businessman, you're a business owner, you're a property owner.
Yeah.
Do though having those things outside of the ring help you stay focused anymore? How does having all of those other opportunities keep your mind flowing in the right direction?
Yeah. Well, it's just I just have great people around me. I have great relationships, and you know, um, my sister lives in Philadelphia. She manages my gym for me, and she manages a lot of my stuff, like my supplements and all that. So it's good when you have people around you that can kind of hold things down, and then I could just stay locked in with the boxing, you know. Um, it's great. It's great because boxing doesn't last forever, so you definitely have to set yourself up for when this is done. I think what happens with a lot of fighters is they don't plan that way, and they probably stay in the game too long, or they're fighting for the wrong reasons. I'm not fighting for the wrong reasons. I'm fighting for legacy. Like I'm fighting because I want to be down in the history books. I want people to talk about me 20, 30 years from now. So I'm in it for the right reasons, where maybe there's some guys that they don't have anything going for themselves other than boxing, and they end up, they go into a fight with the wrong mentality and they get hurt. That's not the case with me. So I think that's what helps, having all these other things where, I'm just fighting because I truly love it. I don't have to keep doing it, but I truly love it.
Mhm. And lastly, Jaime Munguia is a very respected opponent, huge fan base, champion. Is this a legacy fight for you? Where do you place this in your legacy?
To me, this is the biggest fight of my career right now. Even though I've fought the big names like Golovkin and things of that nature, but for me, it's different because my mindset. I'm appreciating the moment. You know, I'm not taking it for granted. You know, I think before in the past, I probably took moments like this for granted because it's like, oh, I'm supposed to be here, you know, and you got to kind of like that cocky young attitude where like now is more like, yo, this is big, this is legacy. Like I really get the big picture of it, right? So I'm preparing myself 100%, you know, and I'm really enjoying the moment. And I know this is a fight that's going to go down in the history books, and then I can move on to bigger and better things.
Mhm, absolutely. Well, thank you, King Gabe. I appreciate your time. Best of luck to you.
Thank you so
November
much.
13th, fabulous, fantastic fight that fans legitimately want to see. And I thank you again for your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Take care.